What is the lowest level you can beat Pokemon Red and Blue with an Electabuzz? We're going to use no items in battle. I personally will not be using Double Team, but if you want to try to beat me in any of these, you may use Double Team. If you have a Thunder move, Lorelei is usually pretty simple. But when we're trying to go in these with the lowest level possible, she will typically always be difficult because she kind of sets the mood here. I'm going to start all these runs at level 40 and just see what I can do. But at level 40, we were not able to beat Lorelei after many attempts, so here we are at 46. Our moveset is going to be Mimic, Submission, Thunderbolt, and Psychic. Electabuzz's special and physical are relatively similar, but the special is a bit more. Once we Mimic Amnesia from Slowbro, we're going to just use as much as we can. One, because we want the special, and two, to help with our badge boost. After Slowbro, Jinx is very difficult. In all the runs I've done, Jinx has usually been a little bit of a struggle. But if you get those amnesias off, as you will see, she is no longer an issue here because we're going to sweep here. So we're going to see how low of a level we can keep Electabuzz through the whole Elite Four. We're not going to be using any items. And there we go. There's Lorelei. So I ask you, what is the lowest level you can beat Pokemon Red or Blue using an Electabuzz? Again, no items in battle, and we are on Bruno. So with Bruno, what we're going to do is use Mimic to get the Harden. We're going to use Harden 3 times. You can use it up to 6, but something that becomes very important in these battles is experience points management. So sometimes I'll have to go in Victory Road and get like a couple experience points, or I'll have to use a rare candy to start at none, because what happens when you use the badge boost and you level up, that extra 12.5% that stacks disappears. So I saved a couple Hardens to use for after I leveled up, because even though the Onix with all the Hardens can't do a whole lot, and the Machamp once we got all the Hardens up can't do a whole lot, it's just better to not have to risk getting submission by the Machamp. But at level 47, 48, Bruno isn't too much of a challenge, and the move Mimic and the badge boost really makes things easy, and also the move pool for Electabuzz, being able to have Psychic, is also super great for the Elite Four. So there we go, that was Bruno. I ask you, what is the lowest level you can beat Pokemon Red and Blue using an Electabuzz? We are doing no items in battle, and we are on to Agatha. If you look at my move pool, you'll notice that Substitute is there and Submission is gone. It is a little unfortunate we never got to use Submission, so I wish I would have taught Substitute at the beginning, and that way I would have had an option to teach Submission later on. But, oh well, we move on. So I taught Substitute for Agatha specifically because of the Confuse Ray. If you have a Substitute out, you are not going to get hit by the Confuse Ray. Now, if you watch other people on YouTube do stuff similar to this, you probably have heard of JRose11. He calls Agatha the Agatha Lottery, and there is not a better name for Agatha than that, because she truly is a lottery. You never know what's going to happen. Because she has Confuse Ray, Hypnosis, I believe her moves are random, so 25% per move, and sometimes she switches out, which you don't see a lot in other Elite Four members. And she's got like Golbat with Haze, 2 Gengars which are devastating, so she is quite the lottery. And if you look at my situation right now, most people would reset right here. This is an awful situation to be in. I was at 11, now I'm at 14 hit points with the Substitute, and I had 4 Pokemon. Okay, so what I was able to do is get the Golbat down to Super Potion range, and I'm going to do the same thing to Haunter. Knowing who uses Super Potion and on what Pokemon in the Elite Four is huge, because you can manipulate that to your advantage. I'm not pretending I did that here, but when you're doing these runs, just keep in mind, if you get them to about a little less than a third, they may use a Super Potion. And I have gone through 3 Pokemon here with super low level, and I still have my Substitute up. And then if we look at what the Gengar does, Confuse Ray doesn't work, Confuse Ray doesn't work again. So I'm probably the luckiest guy alive. I guarantee you nobody else can beat Agatha level 49 or lower. So there's Agatha. So I ask you, what is the lowest level you could beat Pokemon Red and Blue with an Electabuzz? We are doing no items in battle, and we are on to Lance. If you notice my level, you know how devastated I am right now. We had the world record lowest level beating Agatha, but we could not get past this Dragonair at that level. I tried the moveset we had. I tried badge boosting. I tried hyper beams. I tried a substitute toxic rest moveset. I tried at all levels leading up to here, but it wasn't until 65 that I had a successful go against Lance. Even look at my moveset now. It is not the moveset that I thought would work. I was just trying it. And you'll see how counter doesn't really seem to work that well, predicting if it's going to use Hyper Beam Slam or something else, because in this generation, counter only works on normal and fighting move, not physical moves. So I've agility'd up and got my badge boost, and now I'm just using Thunderbolt. You will see I do not have a whole lot left in the tank, so I am not very confident even at this level. And sorry, I'm just peeking at what was going on, what moves that they had there. You'll see I take notes so I remember what happened. But I opt to go for rest here. Is a little risky, given I could just be taken out with critical hit takedowns, because the critical hit avoids my badge boost 12.5%. So critical hits are very devastating. But I got very lucky. I woke up early and I was able to take him out with a Thunderbolt. Then all I have left is a Dragonite. I do over half. And I am still faster. So there we go. I ask you, what is the lowest level you can beat Pokemon Red and Blue with using an Electabuzz? There will be no items in battle, and we're on to Blue. If you've been watching this, you know that I started at a much lower level than I'm at now. We got through Agatha with probably a world record lowest level, and then we got to Lance's Dragonair, and we got absolutely walled. So my moveset's a little off, but it's not too bad. There's not really anything I'd actually use Psychic for other than the Rhydon, but that turned out to be a plus, as you'll see here. I use Mimic, and when I do Mimic, I'm going to grab Horn Drill. That Tail Whip will actually help me with the badge boost here. So now I use Horn Drill, missed a few times, but luckily he didn't do anything devastating, and I got rid of the Rhydon, which was super helpful. And then I go on to the Arcanine, and I'm going to use Thunderbolt here. I get a critical hit, which is, it is what it is, and then I take him out before the Arcanine can start to do too much damage to me. I go for a Horn Drill here, just to see if I can get lucky, and boom, I hit it. So at this point, I am so confident that I have the world record lowest level beating the Elite Four with Electabuzz, because here I go use Thunderbolt on the Blastoise, boom. Level 67, we have beaten the Elite Four. I ask you,